And to elaborate on this delicate deal in the diplomatic front, we're now joined by former ambassador to the United States, Danny Ayalon. Danny, given all the different reports we're getting on the proposed hostages deal, can you provide insights into the current dynamics of the negotiations? What are the latest details, given that the Shin Bet chief, Ronen Bar, is in Egypt for it right now?
Yeah, the fact that our chief of Shin Bet is there, it means that maybe some things are moving on the right track. But so far, it's been like meeting a dead end every time, because Hamas is really playing with everyone. You know, it's an ISIS a terror organization that is trying to emotionally exhaust the government of Israel, but first and foremost the families of the hostages. So it's like one step ahead, half a step back. Nothing is over till everything is over, and it seems like the real gap now is in the numbers. The Hamas, they're trying to actually release as few hostages as possible in order to protract, because they see these hostages as their insurance policy. And of course, Israel would like all of them to be released at once without any selection. All of them should be released. And so it will be something in the middle. Numbers, whether it's 50 or 80 or 100, it's terrible that we need to trade hostages like that. But it's all because of the cruelty, the ruthless of Hamas.
Danny, I'd like to ask you something more personal. Of course, it's the right of the people to know, and everyone in Israel is so united for the cause, and everyone worries so much. But do you think it's a good thing these things are being discussed in the media? I mean, all the details, everything that's happening, or maybe there are things that we still don't know?
Well, I would say there is a tension, for sure. Israel is a democracy and, free press. Everything is out there. That's also part of our DNA, to discuss everything publicly. Nothing is, hush-hush or hidden. Unfortunately, this is also sometimes being taken advantage of by the terrorists, because they can read us as an open book and they can play us, with releasing pictures or videos that they force upon the hostages to send us some things. But I think I was very impressed by the fact that most, if not all, Israeli media self-censored themselves with not showing these provocative videos of Hamas. I think this is kind of taking away a powerful psychological tool that Hamas is trying to actually use against us.
Definitely. Now, we're seeing really President Biden sending messages of hope from the United States. Can Israel really trust Hamas to deliver here about everything that's done?
No, you can never trust Hamas, unfortunately. And I can understand. By the way, President Biden has been really staunch supporter, and I think his leadership from the day one, 7th of October until now, has really made the entire leadership of the United States much stronger. And the understanding by President Biden that this is not a war between Israel and the terrorist organization of Hamas, ISIS, but actually between the Islamist jihadist world supported by Iran and China and Russia against the liberal democracies of the West. And Israel is just in the trenches here. So this has been great. And yes, he would, of course, there are 9 American hostages there. So he personally would like to see them being released.
Of course, Danny, now really short, we're seeing crimes against humanity in the most cruel levels. There are babies and elderly in Gaza for 40 days now, 40 days of no list on who's there, alive or dead. Everything is based on videos that circulated in the first few days, maybe intelligence, not one Red Cross visit. Tell me, how is that possible on the diplomatic level? How are there no clear, minimal rules here? I mean, it's truly unimaginable what's happening.
Well, this is hypocrisy. This is the cynicism of the international community. Some of them are very quick on jumping the gun and criticizing Israel for our self-defense, the very legitimate self-defense. They're ignoring the crimes against humanity of Hamas. And unfortunately also ICRC, the International Red Cross is very, very ineffective in the sense that they should have been much more forceful in demanding, first and foremost, as you mentioned, to get the list. We don't even have the official list of the kidnapped, not to mention visiting them. That's also a basic thing to visit them. None of this has been in effect, unfortunately. So we will have to rely only upon ourselves and our intelligence services, and this is how we got all the names, is only through our intelligence services. And then there is, I believe, a little bit giving a slack to Qatar. Without Qatar, Hamas wouldn't be where it is now, with all the financing and the political support. And Qatar should have been made to put much more effective pressure on Hamas.
Definitely, Danny, we're really praying for their safe return. Thank you so much for joining us today. And let's hope next time we talk, they're back here.